So what we're going to do today is what I try to do every single new season is I'm going to show you guys how the new operator works and test all interactions with them. Since Solid Snake doesn't have too much to interact with, there won't be much there, but I'm going to show you guys like how the gadget works and stuff like that. I think the biggest confusion for a lot of people was how the packs work and how you get more utility and stuff. Which, by the way, first off, don't forget you got the foregrip now on the F2. Okay. I don't know if it'll work like this, but I'm going to try. Okay, it does. Perfect. So, with Solid Snake, you have these packs on the ground. Anytime you kill an enemy, the packs will drop. Anytime one of your teammates is killed, a pack will drop. Important to note, team killing a teammate does not drop a pack. I can test that for you guys if you really don't believe me, but it does not work. You cannot team kill. I've already mentioned it before, but I'm going to prove to you. If you team kill, no pouch drops. There's nothing on the ground. So team killing is not useful for getting more utility. Not that you would ever want to do that anyways. What's the button to do that? Fuck, there's a reverse friendly fire. Okay, we'll see. Actually, oh, interesting. If you die from reverse friendly fire, you drop a pouch. But if you team killed, they don't drop a pouch. Look at the bottom right. You have this like bar system. You also, if you hold B, you can pull this up, which I guess makes it a bit easier. I actually didn't know you could hold this. So you can have one of each of these 5 gadgets: frags, flashes, EMPs, smokes, and breaching charges. You just can't have hard breach charges and claymore. When you're picking up an item, you can choose what you want. And you can only ever have a max of 1. So with the frags, if I have it highlighted on frags, you can see the pack it has like a red X and it says frag grenade is already at max ammo. If I choose something different like flashes, when I walk up to the pack, it'll automatically pick it up. You don't actually have to press F on it. But if it's in a position where you don't want to get shot, you can like go like this and then pick it up manually. But if you walk over it, it picks up automatically. So here you can see I can't pick it up. But if I use my EMP and throw it, I can now pick it up. I think I have to leave and enter the range again. So you can always have one of each gadget, but a max of one of each. And I would assume that it's based off of like if I go or if I go soft breach and I put this down, I can't pick this up until this one is blown. Now I can pick it up. So yeah, it's not technically like unlimited utility in the sense that you can just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. You do have to use the utility, but like you could nade a door and then pick up another nade. Alright. And since up to 8 people can die before you get down to like a 1v1, you can pick up 8 different packs in a round. Now for his gadget, the way it works. So you can see here when I'm walking around, it says alert. Means that there is an enemy in the area and it only shows on the first floor. So if I run outside real quick where there's gonna be no one, there we go, it'll say all clear. Now as soon as you walk into a room where someone is, which I guess is in there, it'll say alert. And you can also see on there, you can see the camera. It shows a little yellow dot whenever there's a default cam. It only shows default cams. It does not show vault cameras, it does not show bulletproofs, only shows default cams. So someone is on the default camera in the lobby. If I pull out the gadget, it says caution. It does not tell me where the camera is looking though. If I go precision mode, I still don't think it... Oh no, it does show. So I'm on the camera. If I turn, you can see it turning on the camera. Okay. So you could also use your precision mode as a way to determine if you can flank. But I mean, if someone's on a camera that you're heading towards, probably not a good idea to head there. You can see that the enemy was in here. I can see him. Alert. I kill him, and then I go back on the camera or gadget and it says all clear. So that's how the gadget works. And as you can tell here, when you pull out the gadget, it lasts for, I started at around 50 seconds. I think it lasts around 10 seconds, which is a decent amount of time. It has a long cooldown, but 10 seconds of, you know, quick clearing. It has to do one cooldown, and then it starts to charge up. The charge up looks like it's about 8 seconds total. And then you have a second part. So with the gadget you can see in the bottom right corner, I have 4 uses of it, which means that I can walk around and use this as much as I want, just like this part, but I can go into precision mode, is what they call it, where it'll reset the thing, and then you can see everyone's exact dots and where they're looking. But it only lasts like 4 seconds. It's very short. So if I go activate precision mode, when they move, you can see it's like, oh, well, they kind of killed me quicker than I thought. But it does move, like it moves with them. It shows exactly where they are. So there's going to be a lot of utility usage with this. And I think the big thing with Solid Snake, which is why we didn't really get many clips of it in the early access thing, is that you're going to be using it as a way to clear out areas quickly. Like you'll pull it out, be like, okay, you're all clear. Like this entire area is clear. You don't have to check anything. You don't have to worry about anyone being here. All of bar and aviator and study, all of that is clear. Just push, 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 push. So you'll be able to clear out things very quickly. You can't change floors. The only way you can change floors is by actually, you know, changing floors. So here, it's all clear. Once I walk down the stairs and get past halfway, then it goes to the next floor. Still all clear. Oh, now it's an alert. So it goes based off whatever floor you're on. It does work, though, if you're on rappel, where you could go between the two. So you could go like this. Oh, someone's on first floor. You go up. Oh, no one's on second floor. Just first floor. Activate and then be like, oh, there they are. They're in the hallway. It does suck, though, that it lasts such a short time. It's like 4 seconds. It's so little. Yeah, the gadget's really good for intel, but very short. And also, the thing is, you don't have your gun out. Which, also, this is Solid Snake's new pistol, which I haven't actually tested the damage on. I probably should. He can't use any weapons while he's scanning, which makes him very vulnerable. And that's why we weren't really using him as, like, an entry fragger, because you can't scan and kill. But if we look at his loadout, which, by the way, people were wondering about the gadgets. Yeah, he can choose one of all 5 of these. So you can just choose whatever you want to start off with, but you only start with 1. The pistol does 52 damage a shot with an 8 magazine, and the recoil pattern looks pretty high, but I think it's still better recoil than the Deagle. Lower damage than the... Actually, the Deagle has lower recoil and higher damage. But, I mean, it is the only pistol that Solid Snake can bring, and it is forced to be silenced. Like, you can't customize it. This one does have a scope. That is true, but look at the recoil difference here. Like, red is all the way up there, and it's super horizontal versus something like the Deagle, where it's just tight, 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 tight. I'll try spam shooting and see what it's like. It's not bad, but you can tell it's like, it is just going very horizontal, so there's a chance you might miss a shot because it'll go, and then you have to bring it back. But, I mean, if you're close quarters, which I assume is when you'll be using the pistol, it should be pretty easy to just fry someone. Also, it is cool that he walks around with the knife like that, you know? Let's test this very simply at first. So, pull out the gadget, alert. If he goes on his visual scanner, oh, it says it's all clear. Okay, so it does actually counter him. And then I assume it's only natural that if it counters that part, it will also counter the precision mode. So I can see him here. Yep, if he goes invisible mode, it says it's all clear. Okay, okay. So Vigil is an actual reliable counter to Solid Snake. I'll also show you guys how the camera thing works. So the other counter that we slightly discussed, but I don't think I actually showed, was that Prismas also counter Solid Snake. So if I make Alibi leave completely so that she's non-range of the scanner, it says alert. Even if I back up to make sure like it is not including her, it's only in the lobby, it says alert. And it thinks that the Alibi Prismas are people. I'm going to have Alibi stand with them, but I'm going to have her turn around so you can tell the difference. If I pull out the gadget and I precision mode, all of the alibis look like real people. Obviously they don't turn, but they all count as real people on the actual scan. So alibi is a somewhat viable counter, especially for, like, we think that the main use for Solid Snake is that he's going to like sneak into site. Like, let's say site was in basement, like he's gonna go over here, pull out his scanner, be like, okay, imagine that says all clear, push to the bottom and look and be like, okay, all clear. and then push in and try to like, I don't know, flank without them noticing. But if say you have an alibi Prisma here, it'll just say, oh, someone's here. And then if you go precision mode, you'll see it looking in your general direction. You'll probably be a little bit worried. So since you can't tell them apart, and since the scan lasts for such a short period of time, alibi is an actual good like counter flank operator. You put that down and then he'll be too worried about pushing. And then I think the other counter is mute. I am going to put down mute jammer right at mute's feet and see if it counters solid snake. Oh, it does say all clear. So I assume, hold up. If I do this, it says all clear. If he picks it up, alert. If he puts it down, all clear. Yeah, okay. And then I assume if I have mute back up, and then I pull out the scanner and walk into the range of the mute jammer, it's going to stop me. All clear, alert, alert, and then, oh yeah, it gets jammed. Okay. So it's kind of like traditional how mute works. And then I would assume as well, since it says all clear, if I go precision mode, it does not work. Yeah. Oh, the game crashed on my handheld, so either way, we got the proof. Mute does work. Kind of how we expected. While we're waiting for the game to load up on my handheld. So Annie and I got 5 guys while we were at Heathrow yesterday on our flight home. It was 30 pounds, or no, 38 pounds, 38 quid for 2 burgers, 1 fries, and 1 drink. Is that normal? There's no way that's normal. Oh, that was $70 Canadian. Okay, so to go back to something we mentioned earlier, when you pull out the scanner, you can see default cams on it. You can see that default cam there is yellow. This one's over here is yellow, but you don't see the bulletproof camera. Now that I have the defender on the camera, if I pull it up, it still doesn't say caution like it normally would. Like if they go to the default cam, then it says caution. But if they're on the bulletproof, it doesn't. Show you this, even if I do precision mode, it still doesn't say anything. Nothing about the camera being active. So this applies for all cameras. This applies for Maestro turrets, Evil Eyes, what else? Echo drones, Mozzie drones. None of that gets caught on Solid Snake's gadget. It is only default cams. I don't know if this works. I assume it does. If I EMP Solid Snake, yeah, it jams his gadget. You could always counter Snake by hitting him with a bulletproof EMP. And it also doesn't recharge until the bulletproof effect, or the EMP effect is over. So that's a pretty good counter. A Solid Snake. Obviously, Scopo shows up as an alert. If I go on that, still shows him there as a normal operator. He is exactly the same as everyone else. And then if I go on this, it still doesn't show that someone's on the camera, just like any other non-default camera. If I go precision mode, still nothing. And then I'm going to test it when he swaps. So, alert, someone is in the area. If I go precision mode, it says he's right there. If I swap, he's now gone. It shows, I guess that's one thing we didn't show before. If someone's on cams, it doesn't show their cone of vision. So if you see a red dot, it means that they're on cams and they're not actually gun up, which is good. Because otherwise, if I pull it out, the person, no matter what, will always show the cone of vision, even if they're prone, crouched, whatever. As long as they're not on cams, it does show their cone of vision. Someone wanted me to test silent step. I already know it doesn't counter it, but we'll do it just for the video. So, alert, someone is in the area. If Cav goes silent step, still alert. If I scan, Cav is still there, even in silent step. Or silent step has 0 effect on Solid Snake's gadget. About what we expected, because, I mean, it's not like it's doing anything to counter the signal. They just know she's there. Assuming Tubero wouldn't be affected. That one we could test because that normally counters everything, so wouldn't hurt to test that. Alright, we'll test Tubero. He's known for countering literally everyone, like Deimos track, Dogaby Call, everything gets countered. I think Jackal track does not, but I'm going to assume if I freeze myself as Tubero. Oh, it does counter it. Oh. So if you ever get tracked by him, you could throw it down. But then it's pretty obvious that, you know, you're in the area. You froze yourself. Do precision mode. Interesting. I think actually what I find maybe a bit more interesting than that is how wonky it looks when someone looks straight down and straight up. Look, I'm pulling out the precision mode. He's looking straight down and straight towards Solid Snake. But on precision mode, it says he's looking at classroom. So it's a little... It's very actually wonky when you're aimed right down. Not that I think you could ever really use that, but now you know. So I assume if he freezes Solid Snake as well... Yeah, it just jams the gadget, forces it on cooldown. If you're in the freeze, it does not recharge. You can't pull it out. It's just continuously jammed. Makes sense. So obviously, since he is using a gadget at all times, Solus will counter Solid Snake. She'll just see where he is. I can't... Oh, there we go. I can ping it. And then if I overclock, I can see what it is. And as he moves around... Oh, it already ran out on his end, but I can see him at all times as he moves with it. So just like similar to, you know, Lion or Blitz or whatever, you can just track where they are. So Solus will be a counter, but if he has his gadget out, he might see you. I guess if you're playing below, it's a really good counter then, because like let's just do a dumb example. But like let's say he's looking for people on the top or middle floor, and you realize he's on the hatch, and then you could just like shoot him through the hatch. It could work. I don't think it'll be amazing, but you could do it. I truly don't know if there's anyone else though that is interesting to counter. I do remember when we were testing this on the preview, it was a little buggy because it would show like intermittent pings or something, but when he scans you, it shows up saying position revealed. It actually looks a bit more consistent. I think the bar in the bottom left corner was just like choppy when we tested it. So yeah, you'll get a notification and a red thing saying that you're inside the zone. So if he does precision mode and you're within the zone, it says you're there. If you walk out of it, it still says the thing in the bottom left corner, but it doesn't show it in the top. Even with that little icon in the bottom left corner, you're not actually visible. So I don't know why it stays there. But if you walk out of the area, the text just disappears. And then I've already shown that Vigil does counter, but we'll show from Vigil's perspective what happens if you activate your gadget while you're being tracked. Not that it really changes anything. And this just counters it. But yeah, I think that's about everything. There's only one thing left I want to test, but it's gonna be annoying because I have to start it all over again. We got a pouch on the ground. I'm gonna see if Ash can destroy it. I'm pretty sure she can. I will say from Ash's screen, it doesn't pop up. There is no icon for a pouch. She can see the icon. Oh, what's interesting is when she walks over it, it says Claymore is already maxed out, so I can't pick it up. Okay, so I have it currently set to frag grenades. Sledge also has frag grenades. I'm going to throw both my frag grenades out into the hallway, so he goes down to 0. I assume there's no way that this works. No. Okay, so other people can't pick it up. Now, Sledge can shoot them and destroy them. So your teammates could troll you and destroy your ammo pouches, which would be really fucking annoying. So the other thing is also, you don't have to actually... Oh my god. Aiming on the controller's ass. You don't have to actually kill them yourself. Just someone has to kill them for you to get the pouch. You can also see him warping through the wall. What is he doing? Yeah, let's see if he dies to this. Did die to it, but when I pick it up, actually, oh, that nade did kill or break the other pouch, by the way. There we go. Now I got my other nade. So yeah, there's a lot of weird interactions with the gadget stuff, but it all kind of makes sense. It's probably the weirdest passive they've ever added to a game where someone's able to walk around and pick up more gadgets. And again, it is limited to 1 per gadget until you use it, then you can pick up another. I feel like the last thing I want to show before we end the testing is I want to walk around the 3 reworked maps and look for gas pipe spots. I already looked on Coastline. If I'm not mistaken, Coastline literally only has 1 gas pipe, and that's it. Can the enemy see the pouches dropped? I would assume so, based off the fact that it's the same as like other attackers see it. I'm not going to go into the whole process of actually testing everything and making sure, but I would imagine it's just like Dokkaebi phones, where defenders can see the Dokkaebi phone and destroy it so Dokkaebi can't hack it. Which, by the way, after coming back from SI, bro, pros never hack Dokkaebi cams, or never use Dokkaebi cams to hack. It's so weird. I was watching it for Pro League at SI. Bro, they'd always walk past the cam on the ground and never hack it. Like, why? Just hack it. By the way, first gas pipe is on the main stairs there. Not really seeing any gas pipes anywhere. There's also this weird bug where, like, when I turn and sprint, my F2 goes up really high. There's another one here. Don't think you would... Okay, you could use that to cover attic, but, like, if they breach attic, they're just going to shoot that and destroy it, so... kind of feel like that one's iffy. Okay, let's walk around small tower. No pipes in here. Pipes there. Make sure there's not one up here. Nope. I know Ubisoft as a whole, or like the dev team for Siege, has been very hesitant now to add more gas pipes on doorways because of the whole Kapkan trap situation, where we put a Kapkan trap on a door with a gas pipe and people instantly die. But I'm like, I feel like that's just a learning experience, right? I can't imagine that many people are looking at something like this. Like, if there is a gas pipe on a door and they're like, this is the stupidest thing ever. It's like, bro, you learn about a gas pipe's location and you don't do that again, or you check the door each time. Because now they just keep putting them in, like, kind of useless spots, which I'm not a huge fan of. Also, I feel like I've only seen 2 fire extinguishers on this entire map. Feels like this map was hardly remastered. So we've checked the entire second and first floor, and there were 2 gas pipes. I think 2 fire extinguishers. 1, 2. I remember the other one over there by trophy. I feel like I haven't seen any other ones. Oh, 3. Okay, so at least there's some. 4. Maybe I'm just not noticing the fire extinguishers. No gas pipes in freezer. Okay, now I'm paying attention to the fire extinguishers. I am noticing them more. No gas pipe on this staircase. I'm not gonna lie, this is very disappointing when they don't add more gas pipes. Because I think out of everything they did with Siege X, gas pipes are like the best addition. Fire extinguishers no one cares about. Gas pipes are cool. I don't even remember what the third thing was that they added. I swear there was a third. Oh, metal detectors. No one cares about metal detectors. Yep, that's it for gas pipes. That's it. These remasters are feeling a little weak. I already did a full walkthrough of Coastline, so I'll show you where the one pipe is, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure there's only one pipe on the entire map. Rank 3.0 is the best news of 2026. So I'm very excited about Rank 3.0. I think that's probably one of the best changes they're making in year 11. And I feel extra proud about it because the devs even like specifically like told me, they're like, your feedback is why Rank 3.0 is actually going to be good. Because they had, in my opinion, a very questionable decision for Rank 3.0. Originally, they were going to have skill tiers. You know, like how Siege Cup has skill tiers A, B, C, D, whatever, with S tier? They were going to add that into Ranked. So to replace Hidden MMR, they were going to have skill tiers. And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Almost as dumb as a pipe in here. I think this is the one pipe in all of Coastline. But so then they heard that feedback, and then they were like, are we overcomplicating things? And yeah, they were. They realized they were overcomplicating everything, and they did not need to make it as over the top as they were for Rank 3.0, so they just went back to drawing board, like, let's just basically make it Ranked 1.0. No hidden MMR, you get placements again, and everyone was happy. Everyone was cheering, going crazy for Rank 3.0. Yeah, that is the only gas pipe in the entire map. I'll go show you guys upstairs as well, just in case, but I did a whole check of this on the early access server, and I didn't see shit all. No gas pipes here. Literally nothing up here. There should be one in the bathroom. Oh, tub's gone, never mind. I was gonna say, imagine the gas pipe just leads into the tub. But yeah. Coastline, by far the most disappointing when it comes to the remaster. I feel like there's almost no changes to this map other than some of the rooms are a bit darker. Which, like, I mean, we were complaining about how bad the remasters already were, so, like, I guess them doing less is better if it means we get other content. I just don't know if them doing less is actually getting us other content. Wait, someone said there was one in Kitchen Hall. I swear to God, if this is a bait, I'm banning the guy in chat who said it. Never mind, it's not a bait. There is one gas pipe here. Okay, so you could put you could put a Kapkan trap on this window to kill people if they jump in through if they jump into courtyard, come down here, jump in through this exact window, they could instantly die. I gotta say, this is probably just as useless as the other gas pipe. Not a fan of this. I want better gas pipes. They should have had one on Cool Vibes, and they should have had one probably over here to watch this doorway, or it could be like right here as well. I know they don't want it on doors, but I feel like that's kind of necessary there. Alright, so like I had mentioned earlier, though, the villa rework has not happened yet. They said they're going to do this later, where they're going to move a site from the top floor down, or I think first floor down to the basement, and they're going to make this an actual like garage that you can walk around in as a defender. They kind of mentioned that they want to do more minor changes to maps. So instead of doing like a huge rework or a huge remaster, they want to be able to do small tweaks like that, where they just move a bomb site or change some rooms, which is what my theory is as to why they're doing these remasters. Like, a lot of people, like myself, think that the remasters are very lackluster, and rightfully so. But I think when they remaster, they're setting up the base so that they can tweak maps however they want, which means that we'll get better map changes in the future. It just sucks that we're not getting them now. So far, I haven't seen a single pipe, though. No one's getting piped on this map. I know there's one by 90, but that's about it. Actually, I do remember I saw this one here. This is probably going to be the only gas pipe spot with an insta-kill. You can put a Kapkan here, I think, and that'll hit it. It's far enough away. Oh, this lighting is weird. No other gas pipes that I can see. One here would be cool to block this archway so you could hold stairs longer. In case I do miss a gas pipe, someone chat let me know, but I'm doing a pretty thorough search. Nothing on the stairs, nope. Nothing in Astro. There should be one in here as well, I think, to watch this archway. There's a lot of places I would put, what's it called? Gas pipes. Nothing here. Nothing in there. So there's the one over here at 90. It's right there, but you can't put a Kapkan trap anywhere near it, since that's not a doorway. And there's none in sight over here. So unfortunately, it looks like there's only, what was that, 2 pipes on the entire map? One at 90, one at Bicycle. Am I forgetting one? But 2 pipes on this entire map is really, really small. You could put Thorn on this one. True, but like most people are just going to walk by faster and the Thorn will go off. Yeah, I think two pipes on the entire map. Kind of disappointing. Maybe 3 if I'm misremembering one, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. Yeah, so that's all the map reworks. That's Solid Snake. That's everything you need to know, I feel like, for the new season. I don't think I missed anything. I'm sure there will be some random hidden interactions that we weren't aware of, and probably some combos that'll work really well. But like for the basis, that's everything you need to know for the new season. Do you know anything about the balances? Oh, I guess I didn't really go over that. We were mainly talking about Solid Snake, but the big balancing changes are Flores now has the T95 LMG, so Ying's LMG, good LMG to have. Scopos got the most amount of changes. Scopos can now Aruni punch walls. They can like do the big holes in the wall. They also got changed to a 3-speed 1 health instead of a 2-2 before. They're also able to swap, I think, slightly faster, like minusculely faster, and the cooldown is basically non-existent now. Who else? Grismont mines now last 2 seconds longer on, I think, both Zofia and Ella. But I think in the patch notes they specifically just said Ella's Grismont mines, but they have the same Grismont mine, so it should last the same. But 9 seconds instead of 7 seconds. Someone in chat reminded me, Ying also got a buff. On top of her giving Flores the LMG, she also now has the Candelas last like 0.3 seconds longer. It's better. You don't have to run in with your pistol now, but it's not going to change much. Alibi, they also changed her pings to be more consistent, is kind of how they described it. I think it's like if Alibi pings you, it goes like 1, 2, 3, and the 3 sits there for like 10 seconds. So now instead of like it sitting there, it's gonna just go like 1, 2, 3, and then disappear quicker, I guess. I don't know. It's something small like that. Chat also reminded me that Amaru did get buffed. Massive, absolutely game-changing buff for Amaru. She now has 5 grapples instead of 4. Even though I only ever use 1 because I grapple right into sight and die. But now we got an extra grapple. She's gonna be game changer. The only reason that's gonna be good, and probably not going to change for a lot of you guys, is that in high-ranked elo on Consulate, you know the default plant spot, you like rappel into the window? A lot of people do that with Amaru, and they use Amaru as a bait. So they'll sit on the ground, start throwing in like a smoke, and then Amaru to the roof, but the defenders think they're Amaruing in through the window, so they'll throw a C4, and then nothing happens. And then the high-ranked players on attack will continue to do that over and over, and they'll just keep baiting with Amaru grapple. So now you get 1 more for that. That's like the only way I see how that's useful. Otherwise, it's kind of eh. So that's the entire Season 1 of Year 11 summarized. Hope you guys are looking as forward to this year as I am, because I think there's a lot of good content coming. And even with Season 1 being a light season, it feels like a lot. So it's only going to get better throughout the year.